Hey, Mariner fans, welcome to episode 30. That's right, it's the Dirty 30 episode of Monday Mojo. I'm Max Schwabe. I'm here with Chris Sobba, and I'm here with Evan Barron. Chris Weifel couldn't be with us tonight because he's having a hard time after the Seahawks loss, and I get it. But something tells me there might be a few of those for the rest of the season. But anyway, we are coming at you with 6 games left in the season, 2 games back behind the wild card, and we welcome the era of scoreboard watching over the course of the next week. We have 3 games against the Athletics starting today. Then we have a day off on Thursday, the 30th. And then we have 3 games on October 1, 2, and 3 against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Last time you heard from us, we did have an emergency episode after absolutely mopping the Oakland A's for a 4-game series. And it's do or die time, gentlemen. What's going to happen? What do you think?
It is do or die time, and we, as we said on the last episode, basically we had, with the 4-game sweep of the A's, we did like buy ourselves a loss, which we used in getting crushed. What was it, 14 to 1, 14 to 2? Yeah. Yikes! That was a beating, but at least we were able to come back today. And Jared Kelnick, he had 2 hits off of Shohei Ohtani today.
One of them was a dinger.
One of them was a pimp bomb.
Yeah.
He got all into that one, man. He's just looking better and better. This is obviously his best month, and it's just great to see it coming in at the right time. But it was good that we can at least get 2 in Anaheim. And now it's do or die time. Now what we were saying, we really can't lose again. We can't. And as you were saying, scoreboard watching, it's, as we're recording this, it's the bottom of the 9th. Yankees are beating the Red Sox, and they have 1 out left to go. So that game's pretty much over. We were Boston strong. We were trying to get the Red Sox root for the Red Sox.
That didn't go as planned.
No, they got swept. They're just about to get swept, and now I guess we are rooting for the Yankees and against Boston, but the Yankees' schedule is a bit more difficult. They got the Blue Jays and then Tampa Bay to finish it out.
That's right.
And then the Boston Red Sox, they've got they finish it with the Nationals. And they got Baltimore next. So the Orioles and the Nationals. Shit. So strength of schedule for those guys is pretty easy for the Red Sox. And then the Yankees is pretty difficult. So shit, man, it's going to be a tough finish. We, like Scott said in one of the post-game interviews, he was saying, like, we're going to need some help. As we've all known, we're going to need help from these other teams to take some losses for us. But that's kind of where we're at right now. And so now we're Yankees fans rooting against Boston, still rooting against the Blue Jays.
We're watching almost the entire AL East right now.
Yeah.
Right, except for Baltimore.
And Tampa, because Tampa's got it locked up.
Right, exactly. But if there's ever a time to be an Orioles fan, let's go Birds.
Hey,
go
I will say one thing about Orioles fans. They're good. They're really good at being fans. I visited. They really are. Like, they've sucked for so long.
Yeah.
Have we talked about this before?
Mm-hmm.
We have, yeah. They're just phenomenal fans, man. When I visited there for like blocks on blocks on blocks on blocks, it's just like seemed like miles on end. There were just signs for the Orioles all throughout Baltimore and whatnot. Sneeze coming. And yeah, I mean, they're just good fans for how shitty of a franchise they've been. And I got mad respect for the Orioles fans. Just a little tidbit.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Orioles fans, but we need you to come through this week in a big way. Are we, Chris? Are we going to the game?
Yeah, we're going
Saturday.
We got to go on Saturday because I'm going to pitch faster than you.
Oh, and Evan, yeah, exactly.
Dude, I'm down to come through with you guys, and I know last episode we talked about how there's going to be a pitch off between you two, and so I definitely want to film that and get that on our YouTube page. So
yeah, good.
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun.
I'm glad we can show the world just how cocky Chris Sobba is. He opens his mouth before he thinks.
That's a fact. That's gone on since the day I was born. Let's be honest.
So, do we know who's going to be on the bump for the next 3 days. We're making this episode efficient because all I can think about, I can taste the playoffs.
Yeah, we start tomorrow with Chris Flexen, which is who you want to start the series with. Make sure you get that first win. Yes. And we're going against Cole Irvin. So we have had Cole Irvin's absolute number ever since he's played us. And so let's just hope to see that again tomorrow. We're like something like 9 wins and like 16 losses or something like that in our like recent stretch of being at home, which isn't good. Yeah. But 8-2 on the road. Got momentum coming into back home, which would be great. But Flexen, that's who you want on the mound for the first game.
Right. Do we? I'm just looking at like the stats up to date, and I'm just trying to like I guess I'm trying to get I kind of want to do like a segment on.
Well, real quick before that, because Tuesday's game right now, it's in place to have Kikuchi. He would be the starter. But Matt Brash recently, who we've been speaking about on the show for a little bit now, shit. Matt Brash, he had finished in Arkansas. And so he was like going back home, and he hasn't pitched since like the 18th of this month. So it's been a little bit. So he actually got promoted to AAA. He's going to the Rainiers because he has to be technically promoted to a roster so then he can be brought up to the MLB. So I think Brash is going to be coming in and playing on pitching on Tuesday.
Yeah, right. Huge. That's a hot take. You really think?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's what I think's coming up on Tuesday.
What? Yeah,
I don't know if he's going to start, but he'll at least come in the bullpen.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's going to pitch that day. He'll make his MLB debut on Tuesday, I bet.
Damn. Wait, so this is in
because we cannot start Kikuchi.
What? So you think but you think we would start Brash, or would we have a bullpen?
I don't know who would a bullpen day, but I don't know who we'd start. Maybe we'd start Brash. I don't know. He's been starting all year for Arkansas. Wow. But I'm just saying, bottom line is Kikuchi cannot be pitching. He's been I don't have his stats or anything, but everybody who has been following the Mariners in the last half of this year, they can see that Yusei Kikuchi has lost it. He doesn't have any control. He can't find the strike zone. He continues to walk guys. It's pissing me off how much he walks people. He just has no command of the zone anymore. Is
that just because he keeps trying to flirt with the
I don't know. His wife
with the corners. Yeah.
His wife says he tries to paint too much. I don't know if that's it or he's just lost stamina, or I don't know what it is. Just I know what it ain't, and it ain't pitching strikes and ain't getting the job done. And he's got to be out for this last week. If we're trying to make this push and we're true to it, he can't pitch.
Yeah. Do you still have faith in him?
No. He's lost all.
No. Okay. Whoa. Wait. I'm not talking about for the rest of this season. I'm talking about like in the off season. Do you think I don't on track? Oh, you think he's a wash?
I just don't think it's worth it to re-sign him because he always has a good first half of the year, but he always crumbles in the second half. He has no longevity throughout a season. At least it seems that way. And we've had him for so long. He's going to be expensive to keep.
What do you mean by always?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What I mean by always? Always. It seems every year he dips in the second half of the season.
How many years have we had him?
3.
3? Oh, 3. Wow. Jeez.
Something like that. So
well, I don't know, man. That's got to be the job of the pitching coach, who I don't even know his name, but
Pete Woodworth. Pete Woodworth is a very good coach.
Petey.
Yeah.
Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete. Yeah, is that what you call him? I love it. But hey, so back on track. Right now we're sitting on a current 9-game winning streak against the Oakland Athletics. That is the team that we want to play, who, oddly enough, just after they get 4-game mopped by us, they go into a 3-game sweep with the Astros. Technically, the Astros haven't clinched shit right now because there's 6 games left in the season. We are only 5 back of the Astros. So anything's possible. Imagine? Kevin.
Wait, yeah, let's pull up the Astros schedule. I know that their last 3-game series is against the A's, so that means they're probably playing here. Let me do a little research here.
Do some typing.
Yeah. Schedule.
Hey, if there's baseball gods, Max, this would be quite the assist.
Who was it? Oh yeah, you saw that text message conversation
from Corey Brown.
He was like,
yeah, shout out
baseball
Corey,
gods
bro.
do exist.
They do. Evan. So Max is kind of kind of on the fence of baseball gods existing. What's your take on baseball gods existing?
I mean, if you build it, they'll come. You know, like they say in Field of Dreams. So yeah, you got to. I mean, I think you gotta I don't know. I think you gotta. Sorry, I don't know why I'm just.
Well, you gotta, but no, they baseball gods exist, without a question, man. You know, it's like karma. Karma exists. There's no question about it.
Well, says the guy that
I just don't know, like, why. If like there was a real God, do you think like after 20 years, baseball gods, there'd be like, you know, they give some sympathy to the Mariners, and I don't know. I just
piss off Poseidon. Trident deck, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Trident deck. There's gods, right? There's gods. There's Zeus, there's Poseidon. Now we're going back to this conversation of the trident is bad luck because it's pointing down to the ground. And if we pointed it up into the sky and respected Poseidon, maybe they would switch their ways. But this year we even put in a trident deck in T-Mobile Park, which pissed me off. But
are you saying that Poseidon is a baseball god?
Yeah.
So in the amount of time that we just talked about God and Evan, I liked your comments, like, if there is a God, screw the famine, the war, the killing and the violence. The only reason Evan doesn't believe in God is because no God would make a baseball team not go to the playoff for 20 years.
I want to go there. No, I'm Catholic. Yeah, I don't want to say like I'm an atheist on this podcast. I just want to throw that out to our fans, but
for sure. For sure.
But
a funny take.
That's hilarious, though. By the way.
So in the time that we had that discussion, I'm looking at the Astros schedule, and they play they have a 3-game series against Tampa Bay starting on Tuesday. So, I mean, the probability of and all of these games are at home, but they got 3 against
for
Tampa
the Astros.
Bay. Yes. They got 3 against Tampa Bay, and they got 3 against Oakland, all in Houston. Now, the likelihood of them losing 6 straight is very improbable. But
what happens if they lose 5 straight? There's like a lot of scenarios. So like let's stay away from the division in the wild card, I guess. Here, there's a lot of legitimate scenarios to where there could be like a 2-way, 3-way tie at the end of the season. And so I'm curious
what happens if that's the case.
I don't know. I gotta do some personal research. I guess I should have done that, but it just kind of pops into my mind right now. I mean, if like we tied with the Blue Jays and the Yankees for like the second wild card spot, I mean, I think there'd have to be a play-in. And I just don't know how they would choose like who plays first and who gets like, I guess, the bye for the play-in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because obviously 3, you know, unless there was a 4-way tie, like if there's a 4-way tie, like,
that would be shit. That'd be nuts.
That'd be insane. Like that's like the odds of that happening are like
slim. Well, I think, dude, wouldn't they? This is a good point. Wouldn't they base the team that moves on next on like something like run differential, in which case we're screwed?
I don't know, because like dude, we're gonna be toast. But there's like that's never happened before. So like, do they have something set in place for like what happens? Like, you know, in freaking Friday Night Lights when they all meet up and do the coin toss.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't that one of the coaches try cheating and stuff? He's like, oh, this is tails. Like, no, that's heads, and he calls something else. But then that's how Permian Panthers.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it was Permian Panthers for Friday Night Lights.
But
then they get in and they get to go to the playoffs. I mean, hey, that's kind of like that underdog story. That's what we need here with the Seattle Mariners.
How livid would you be if it did come down to a coin toss and we lost the coin toss?
That would just be the Mariners' luck, of course.
No,
like
exactly.
that would not be like a surprise at all about it, for sure. But I do want to say though, with the Mariners and how like with the stretch with the Red Sox and all that, you know, I think what's cool about the Mariners, and you've seen it like within these last during their hot streak, is they're just playing loose, and obviously, you know, they're just it factors into what other teams are doing. And so I think with the Red Sox, now that they've lost 3, they could tighten up a little bit more. They're overthinking it a little bit, and you never know. And the Mariners are kind of just playing with this attitude of like, well, we can only control what we can control, and so we're just going to play loose and have fun. And I think you've seen that a lot. And obviously the 14-1 deficit was not good. But besides that, though, they've been showing some, they've been coming behind in games and really pulling through. And so I definitely like what I'm seeing so far with it.
I think
speaking on that, I mean, you're 100% right with them playing loose. Like they get blown out 14-1, but then they come back the next day and take care of business.
Exactly. I think
what does Scott Servais say or Service say, Chris, about Ted Lasso?
He's the goldfish. Have a 3-second memory.
Yeah.
Be a goldfish.
Oh my
baby.
Lord, yeah.
Max, have you seen Ted Lasso yet?
Yes,
So have you? That was not a convincing yes.
You're not gonna like the answer that I gave you.
You don't like it?
I watched it. Can you just let me finish? Yeah. I watched the first like 4 or 5 episodes, and I don't like it because it's too positive.
Oh, you're the worst, dude.
It's
so
unreal.
As a human,
he's unreal, dude. He's unrealistically positive, and I am watching. My roommates are caught up in the second season. He goes into therapy, and that's cool and everything. But like the first 4 or 5 episodes, he was so positive. I wanted to punch him in the face. No one is that positive.
Yeah, well, it's also just the fact of the matter of like everything else within the show, everything that's supposed to go wrong.
Yeah, I get that.
It was supposed to be negative, and what's supposed to go wrong ends up not going wrong. And it ends up the opposite happens and the good happens. It's just an uplifting show.
I totally agree. And honestly, I bet you there are a lot of listeners that do listen to this show. Wait, where was I going with that? Oh, I bet you there are a lot of listeners that might watch this show, Ted Lasso, and unless they're a true baseball fan and they don't watch soccer, but I do like soccer a lot, that would disagree with what I'm saying, but it's not for me, man. Like I think every human being needs to have just a wee bit of pessimism. It's unrealistic. It's sci-fi.
He's unrealistically happy. It's not sci-fi, but
it's sci-fi.
We can go there. Well, hey, how about this? Well, who we have coming up next is a continued segment of questions from the dugout. Got a couple more thrown our way. Real quick, Devin Gunter, speaking of pessimism, you just love to poke fun. Hot take. Not a question. It's just a hot take.
Devin Gunter doesn't even ask questions. He just shows up with hot takes and tries to get us riled up.
He does a good job. Like he actually doesn't do a good job because I don't let it get to me. I don't let it rile me up because I understand. Keep in mind. I've obviously never met Devin Gunter, but through his talking smack to us via Instagram and whatnot, I just have grown to understand what type of person he is. He just pokes fun at the bear and likes to get a rise out of people. You're not going to get a rise out of me, Devin Gunter. We are not the worst. He goes hot take. We are the worst org in the league. We are simply just not the worst org in the league. It's a stupid thing to say.
Who is the worst org in the league?
It's infactual. It's got to be the Diamondbacks. They got the worst record at the moment, and they just gave their coach a 2-year extension. I don't know much about that. Don't know what he's been doing behind the scenes, if he's been improving stuff with the farm system. I know nothing about the Diamondbacks. And they had the worst record, so that's how I'm basing my decision on who's the worst.
Or he's getting fond, if you know what I mean, with upper management in Baltimore.
Getting fond who?
Getting fond with never mind.
Yep.
Continue.
All right. Well, Devin Gunter, to answer your question that wasn't a question, but to answer your hot take, we are not the worst org in the league. Stupid question, stupid hot take. Sit down.
So yeah, exactly. So Devin, not only were you a part of the segment of questions from the dugout, but you're also part of the segment for sit your ass down, throw him a chair, sit down, Devin Gunter. All right, moving on.
And then we got another one. If the M's make the playoffs, is Servais a lock for manager of the year? Honestly, I think Servais already is or should be a lock for manager of the year from what he's been able to do. I mean, we were projected 71, 74 wins, whatever it was. And where we're at right now with the team that he's been able to win with, we're at 85 wins. We're at 86 wins right now. 85, 86, we're at 86.
86, I believe.
We're at 86 wins. Max, congratulations. pause this real quick. Max's prediction of 86 wins has officially come to fruition.
Yep.
We have reached that mark. 2 more for the 88 that I predicted earlier in the year. Evan, I guess we can give you a shout out. Your projections came true a long time ago. You had like a 75 win projection. So hats off to you there.
Wait, what was Evan?
Yeah, I said 75.
Why'd you do this podcast then, dude?
I know we're half glass kind of guy or glass full kind of podcast or whatever. With getting our hopes high up on the Mariners, but yeah, props to you guys. Because I remember earlier on when we were dropping our earlier episodes, I guess you guys got some friends that are like, "Wow, that is outrageous," you know, and they never thought we get to this point, and so
no shit, dude.
No shit, but what do you think on Servais, Max? You seemed a little pessimistic, if I should say, about Scott Servais being a lock for the manager of the year.
Look, I do think Scott Servais is a great manager. I mean, you just watch him from like on TV in the dugout, and he's always in the same spot. He's very consistent, you know, and he does when you watch him kind of tear up at a press conference. I mean, you know that you know, he believes in this team and he believes in each and every player. And that says a lot about a big league coach. It really does. But, you know, like you have to have, in my opinion, some sort of like team dominance, right? Like with
dominance over the clubhouse.
No. I'm talking about like, I think a lot of it does have to do with like the, you know, the record of the team, right? Like, and we have a decent record, but it's just not, you know, it's not.
What do you mean decent record? We have 86 wins. We're 2 back of a fucking wild card spot. How is he? What other manager besides Gabe Kapler from the San Francisco Giants, they were supposed to be in the bottom part of the NL West this year, and they're leading the NL West right now. So he's gonna get manager of the year for the NL, no question about it. But I mean, Scott Servais, I don't understand how he's not in like the top 2. If somebody would think he wouldn't be in their top 2 conversation for AL manager of the year, just what he's been able to do with the team that we have and where we've got him. It's 86 wins and we have a chance to reach 90.
All right. Well, here, look, I think,
and I don't see a chance of us not reaching 90, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I do love hearing
we need 4 more wins. We need 4 more wins.
I know. But I think Kevin Cash from the Rays and I think Dusty Baker from the Astros.
I think Kevin Cash is going to go back to back. Dusty Baker's expectations were already high. I don't know. Fuck no. I don't think Dusty Baker. Right? Dusty Baker is a fine manager. In that game where Dylan Moore hit the grand salami and we ended up coming back and beating the Astros, Scott Servais absolutely manhandled the manager chess game within that baseball game with Dusty Baker, and that's how we won that game because Scott Servais made the right substitution at the right time, putting the pitchers in at the right time, pitch hitting at the right time. Dylan Moore was a pinch hitter that game. He put him into pinch hit that game in that grand salami. I mean, Scott Servais absolutely took down Dusty Baker in that.
Okay, fine. Here's what I'll say. Like when you look at something like the average age of the Mariner players on our team this year, right? It's very young, right? And
24.
Yeah, no, exactly. He you know, he didn't necessarily have a whole lot to work with, and that's great. And
we had also, as we said, I mean, he was dealing with players like Sam Haggerty, like Eric Campbell,
right?
Like the guy. Like,
no. I hear you. No, I hear you, but you look at. I'm saying in favor for Scott Servais, right? Like you look at our run differential, and I know that you're sick of me bringing up run differential, but like that is a telltale sign of a good baseball team. And although we're like the only team in the majors with a winning record that has a negative run differential, not to mention it's like 62 or something. I mean, if you come out with 86 wins with a negative 60 run differential, like that's pretty solid. So I will give him there because it's in his style of coaching that allows for creative kind of unexpected wins versus like the Dodgers or the Giants or, you know, any other dominant major league force that has like a 200 plus run differential because they're just so damn good on offense.
Yeah.
But I think you also have to attribute a lot of that to our bullpen just throughout the year, just the consistency.
100%.
And just
And
walking
how
down.
they're
Yeah.
and how they're being used, what situations the manager's putting them in. How is the manager choosing which pitcher to bring in at the right time? Right. Scott Servais does an absolute phenomenal job with that. I think he should be a lock for manager of the year. Obviously, a little bit biased, but
that's pretty subjective.
I'm hoping for it. Yeah, it's pretty subjective. There you go. But yeah.
What other questions from that I got?
That was it. We had a few more, but
wait, what? Did you even ask a question?
Yeah, that was if the M's make the playoffs. Is Servais a lock for the manager of the year? We long-winded that one. But
you said we have a few more. Is that not worth discussing?
We can pull up more. Where do you see the Mariners in the? Where do you see the Mariners in 4 to 5 years?
Do they already have a World Series locked up by then?
Yeah.
They better for Jerry's plan to fully come to fruition. Yeah. At least an appearance, at least a fucking appearance. That's
exactly. I was going to say at least an ALCS title.
There's no question in my mind that they're in the playoffs next year.
Well, 4 to 5 years, we'll have all of our prospects matured.
They'll be mature as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, that's obviously like that's tough to even think about because of like having Jerry Dipoto as your general manager. You don't know what moves he's going to make. I mean, the prospects that we love, like we can't fall in love with them, and because some of them are probably going to get traded away.
Right. At which point we can use that for leverage for really good players. So like, the cards
coming up
that
this winter. I mean, this winter is when we're going to be making moves. It's like it's tough to think that far until like I don't know. That's the long ways out. 4 to 5 years.
Okay. Well, then where do we see us in 3 years or 2 years?
Well, Chris, you said next year they're going to make the postseason.
Yes.
Then year 2, do you think they like?
Well, I think
do you think they're in content after making the postseason? You think like after that, the second year they're like, all right, like it's World Series or kind of like bust kind
World
of
Series or bust. We start getting that mentality. Yeah. I do think that we're going to end up becoming a powerhouse within the AL West once our prospects are fully matured. We've made those trades and signed those long deals, like those proven MLB superstars that are. If we can get 1 or 2 of those, that would be huge. But I legitimately think with what we've said before, the other farm systems within the AL West are not as lucrative in terms of talent that the Mariners have. The player development system that we have in general is just second to none, with Andy McKay doing his job and getting everybody to buy into the program. And we have now basically grown an entire team that's going to be learning from that program inside and out, top to bottom. And so it's going to be, it's just legitimately Jerry Dipoto's like master plan coming together, and it's taken a little bit, but that's just to these next 3, 4, 5 years. When we have all those prospects come up and we make the trades that need to get done, we're going to be a powerhouse. And I can't fucking wait for that moment to happen. And I truly believe that is coming.
I just can't wait for this offseason because obviously, seeing Marcus Semien tear it up with the Blue Jays. He's got 42 home runs. And I remember Jason Churchill said that that's like one of the Mariners' top target. And like, can you imagine if a guy like of that caliber with that kind of bat just came to the Mariners? And that's just what we've already seen with this team already, where how far they've come. Like, that's just another additional 40 home runs like coming.
That's an additional 4 wins on the season.
Oh man, that'd be huge for us next season. So
yeah,
that'd be so sick to get Semien. Yeah, Semien would be awesome. And I love that he's already come out saying he's going to be testing free agency. So that's big on us. What do you think about though, Correa? If the Mariners somehow suit Correa, because he did say that he's willing to move positions, and so he could go to third base, go to second base, whatever. I know, like, obviously Astros, we don't, he's
your voice is still hoarse from booing him for the past 2 seasons.
I know, right? It's funny how quickly your opinions can change on somebody when they come to your team. It's crazy. But I already know that if we got Correa, my opinions of him, like, I'd be able to sweep some things under the rug of how I previously felt. No question about it. Yeah. If he's a good ball player, like, there's certain things, and like there's a fine line, but
you're gonna root for the home team, right? And everyone on the home team you're gonna root for. Yeah,
facts,
exactly.
One thing I noticed around the league with the Red Sox when they were on their 7-game winning streak, they were wearing their yellow unis. Like I think like the entire time it looked like. Did you see that? They had their city jerseys the entire time.
Not today though. But
we don't have city jerseys. When are we gonna get our city jerseys? Who makes the city jerseys? Because like the Giants got city jerseys, other teams got city jerseys. The Mariners don't.
Let's win a World Series and then worry about that.
I'm just curious.
Let's make the playoffs and then worry about that. You know?
Yeah. I guess so.
I think so. Listeners, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is our second to last episode of the regular season. We very much intend to bring you new, fresh Monday Mojo content in the later days of October. That is the goal. But I think at the very least, next Sunday's episode or Monday's episode is we got to have like a year in review kind of thing.
Oh yeah. It's well, next Monday's episode, we will either be in or we will either be out of the playoffs. We do not know, and I'm betting that on this next Saturday, this next Sunday, there's a good chance that we are a game out. There's a good chance we're a game out, and if we're a game out going into the last 2 games of the season, it's like 2016 all over again. But it hurts so good, and I can't wait. And like I was watching the highlight videos of Nelson Cruz hitting a home run. His wife will send it to us in our group chat. And this is a couple
years back.
This is in 2016 when Nelson Cruz hit a
few
bomb.
Years, yeah.
And I forget who we were playing, but it was to come back and help win the game. But the stadium, man, was absolutely jam-packed with Mariners fans. Like, it's just something that doesn't happen very often where it's like almost a legitimate sellout crowd. And I don't think I've ever been in T-Mobile Park when like that third upper deck has been like legitimately sold out or like even like open. Most of the time there's not even seats in that. You guys know what I'm talking about above the Hit It Here Cafe?
Yeah.
You got that deck that's just like it's never got fans in it.
Right.
How cool would it be to be in that in T-Mobile Park with that part of the stadium filled, every seat sold out. We're seeing everybody. You can get a good wave going. I know that for a fact. You definitely get a nice wave going.
All right. Well, then this is our ask. I mean, for the time being, right? Like, if you're listening to this and you're in Seattle or you're in like a neighboring town or city, come to Edgar and Dave. Let's fill the seats.
The corner of Edgar and Dave.
Let's make the last 6 games like a playoff atmosphere. Because God knows if we don't make the playoffs, like we should at least pretend. I mean, you could also say something like that for like if you're an Orioles fan. Like if you're doing an Orioles podcast this season, it's like I know we're not going to make the playoffs, but like let's fill the stadium.
I guess you could say that. They've known for a long time they're not making the playoffs, but hey, we're 2 games out right now where we sit. It is September 26th, 2 games out of an AL wildcard spot. We have a lot of scoreboard watching to continue doing through this next week. It's going to be down to the wire like it was in 2016. If there's baseball gods, they got to be out and they got to help us now. We need it as bad as anybody, more than anybody. We've needed it for 20 fucking years and we haven't gotten it. So Poseidon, on behalf of all Seattle Mariner fans, I'm apologetic and I'm sorry that we have been doing the Trident upside down. We will try and get that fixed shortly. But in the meantime, just understand that we are sorry and stop spiting on us. That would be great.
Stop blooding on us? Spiting?
No.
I don't think you used that right. But
yeah,
anyway.
No, spiting. It works. It works. Yeah, spite, like in spite.
No. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, in spite of. I think that's more of a.
Well, you know what I meant. It works. It may not be in Webster's.
Yeah.
It may not be. Spiting may not be a word in Webster's dictionary, but
Poseidon
it got the point across.
Despises.
He doesn't despise him. He doesn't despise him. He's spiting us. He's spiting us because we have an upside down trident.
You're right.
But we're sorry, Poseidon. Okay,
we're sorry.
Baseball gods, get the rest of your crew together to get your magic to us. Angels in the outfield type stuff. We got 6 games left. We're going against the A's. 9 games, a current 9-game winning streak against the A's. Let's take it to the Angels again to finish it out. That's all I got. Let's go Mariners.